Hey folks, welcome back. I just wanted to give you a little tour of the pedal board that I made for a show I'm playing in a couple weeks in Seattle, Washington. I'm playing with my friend Abby, and she's putting out a record called Big Big Motion. Abbey Blackwell, great bassist and songwriter. We've worked together a lot, and on this last record, I got some sounds that I'm really happy with and trying to recreate with this board. Involves obviously a really dynamic and good clean tone going through like a Champ Princeton style amp, which I'll be borrowing in Seattle. Today I'm going through my Anderson 110. Jack Anderson's a Pacific Northwest amp builder. He's made amps for Bill Frisell, and I fell in love with this amp, and I use it all the time. It's just a little 110, 15 watt amplifier with a little bit of mid boost on it. And yeah, basically these are some pretty classic pedals, but there's a few bells and whistles that I'll walk you through. We'll start with this PolyTune here, obviously classic staple of the pedal board, small footprint, works great. I've got everything strapped down here with dual lock, so it's not going anywhere. Here's what my guitar sounds like with nothing on, just going through the amp. And I love this EUNA, this 29 pedals EUNA really helped my pedal board sound come together. It basically creates the illusion, tells the guitar that this is the front of an amplifier. So you get a bump in articulation, a bump in clarity that you would if you were plugged right into an amp. And it kind of preserves that nice relationship between the guitar and the amplifier, even when you have a bunch of pedals in line, which I think is really great. I've got the low end boost on right now, so you're hearing a bit of that. Here it is off. Here it is on. I highly recommend this pedal. It also has a mid boost and like a harmonic, airy kind of boost that I don't necessarily use often, but this low end curve sounds really good to me. Then next we're going into this Kingtone The Duellist, which I'm just using for a little basic grit. And it's on the stock setting right now. So, pretty simple. I might switch this out with a JHS Morning Glory. It's been broken. The foot switch is acting up. So I'm getting to know this Duellist. I really like it. I'm not sure I quite have a use for a second channel yet. This sounds like the most subtle and transparent of the two channels. But yeah, I think it sounds really good. Then that's running into this ultra vibrato here, the Behringer. I've got this modded actually. So it goes halftime LFO. So you can get this kind of, Mac DeMarco-y tape sounding effect. But I'm using it at the normal rate here. And it's for this song that uses this rolled off, dark, kind of hushed sound. And for that song I also use this auto swell that I've got on the Big Sky here. That's a really cool sound that came up with for that. So that's what I use the vibrato for mostly. But yeah, sometimes I'll use it for that slow tapey effect like I just showed you. That's going into the Flint, the working man's pedal, just one of the best pedals ever made for reverb and trem. Pretty stock, just a little bit of 60s style Fender reverb. And then I've got this tremolo setting, which is a pretty heavy amount, but I find that in the mix of a band, you really want to drive it home, drive the point home. I think Joe Gore, who plays on Tom Waits records, is a huge inspiration in this regard, where there's not a lot of effects that I've heard him use that aren't kind of dimed, and heard Tom Waits is kind of responsible for that, just going to the amp and turning stuff up. So I think, stuff like reverb, tremolo, it should be pretty heavy when you're using it as an effect. When you're just using it as like color like this reads as dry in a mix to me. Now, what I have here on this favorite pedal is not dry at all. It's the 80s setting maxed out, which is the super washy, cloud. And then I can turn off the reverb here and it'll keep going. So I'm thinking of using this as like a transitional scene. So I love the favorite button for that. I mean, this stuff that Strymon makes is such a game changer because it really opens up these pedals here, the ones that have the two buttons. I think you can get favorite switches that work with the Big Sky too, but definitely love that. It just opens up so many possibilities. You just have to turn on Trails mode to be able to do this. Otherwise, it'll just turn off. But yeah, and then I've got some bells and whistles here on the Big Sky. Got a room sound here. Just gets that short reverb sound. And here I've got a slap. A little bit of mod on it. Which is on the Magneto setting, which is like a multi-head delay. And then this Lindsey Buckingham style auto swell that I've got on a kind of a slow swell for that setting I was showing you earlier that goes kind of sounds like a dark carnival organ or something. Anyway, that's basically it. Not a groundbreaking pedal board, but it's got a lot packed in, and most importantly, it preserves the tone that I really care about, which is my Telecaster plugged into a Fender style amp. So, hope you dug this. Let me know if any of these pedals are favorites of yours or if you absolutely despise them. Let me know what you think. I'm trying to start a conversation here. There will be updates from Seattle. I'm hoping to, document everything and get it out to y'all. If you're in Seattle, come to the show. August 28th, Wednesday night at the Sunset Tavern. Hope to see you there and you'll see this pedal board. Take care, y'all. Subscribe if you haven't yet so we can keep the conversation going, and be well.